Have you ever stopped to think about your spleen's doing? Yeah, probably not. It's one of those body parts we tend to forget about until something goes wrong. But when it comes to the liver, well, it's a whole different story. The liver is a powerhouse organ that quietly goes about its business until it starts acting up. Fatty liver disease is one of those things that can go wrong. It's when too much fat builds up in your liver. So, what's the big deal? Well, fatty liver disease can lead to serious complications if left unchecked. That's why it's crucial to make some changes to your diet if you've been diagnosed with it. In our video, we're diving deep into the top 6 foods you should steer clear of if you've got fatty liver disease. And while you're at it, do us a solid and hit that like button and subscribe for more insightful health tips. We've got loads of valuable content coming your way. 6. Red and processed meat. Red and processed meats come loaded with saturated fatty acids, SFA, cholesterol, and sodium, which spell trouble for your liver. Too much saturated fat can pave the way for fat accumulation in the liver, escalating the risk of fatty liver disease, known medically as hepatic steatosis. This condition refers to the buildup of fats in the liver, a scenario ripe for liver inflammation and damage. Beef, pork, and deli meats top the charts in saturated fat content. So it's wise to keep them off your plate if you're grappling with fatty liver disease, as recommended by the AGA. There are plenty of alternatives to satisfy your protein needs. Opt for lean meats, fish, tofu, or tempeh to fill the void left by red and processed meats. And if you want to supercharge your liver health, consider wild, oily fish. It not only offers a protein punch, but also serves up omega-3 fatty acids, the liver's best friend. 5. Alcoholic beverages. Fatty liver disease serves as an initial stage of alcohol-related liver disease, ARLD, emerging swiftly in response to even a brief binge of heavy alcohol consumption. Alcohol, the culprit behind this condition, wreaks havoc on liver cells, disrupting their function and inducing abnormal fat accumulation, inflammation, and fibrosis. The liver's task is to metabolize alcohol, but when faced with an overwhelming influx, it undergoes significant damage, impairing its essential functions. The steatotic fatty liver can manifest in anyone engaging in excessive alcohol consumption, with the perilous progression towards alcohol-associated hepatitis and cirrhosis representing the grim reality of prolonged alcohol abuse. Alcohol-associated liver disease encompasses 3 different types, each a dire consequence of heavy alcohol use. Steatotic liver, characterized by the accumulation of fat within the liver cells and subsequent liver enlargement, stands as the most prevalent alcohol-induced liver ailment. Acute hepatitis, marked by acute liver inflammation and cell death, often culminates in irreversible scarring. Cirrhosis, the accumulation of alcohol-induced liver damage, involves the replacement of functional liver tissue with scar tissue, resulting in compromised liver function and potentially fatal outcomes. Now, to drive home the seriousness of heavy drinking, the National Institute of Health considers high consumption 5 or more drinks a day for men, or 4 or more a day for women. And just to put things in perspective, a standard drink in the US packs about 14 grams of pure alcohol. Think a 12-ounce beer, a 5-ounce glass of wine, or a shot of your favorite hard stuff like gin, whiskey, or vodka. 4. Simple sugars. Simple sugars like glucose can spell trouble for fatty liver because when our bodies break down sugar, they convert it into fat cells. Now, here's where things get tricky. The liver jumps into action and transforms fructose, also known as fruit sugar, into fat through a process called lipogenesis. But when there's too much fructose hanging around, it's like a green light for fat buildup in liver cells, giving rise to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFLD. This buildup in the liver can lead to a list of issues, including elevated triglycerides, an increase in harmful LDL, bad cholesterol, the formation of fat around organs, spiked blood pressure, insulin resistance, and a surge in free radicals roaming around wreaking havoc. When we chow down on a sugar-packed meal, our bodies break it down into glucose. Some of this glucose gets used up right away for energy, but the leftovers? They get stashed away as fat cells, with the liver being one of the main storage spots. Over time, this constant sugar rush can transform healthy liver cells into fat cells, paving the way for non-alcohol-related fatty liver disease. Sugar isn't just bad news for our waistlines. It's also a troublemaker when it comes to inflammation. Regular sugar consumption triggers the release of inflammatory chemicals in our bodies, which can wreak havoc on our liver and other organs, causing trouble in the long run. When your liver is in tip-top shape, it's like a well-oiled machine, efficiently processing toxins and keeping our bodies running smoothly. But when it's under siege from sugar and inflammation, it's like taking away its powers. Suddenly, it's struggling to do its job, leaving behind a trail of fatty deposits, weight gain, and overall dysfunction. So next time you're tempted to indulge in that sweet treat, think twice. Your liver's counting on you to make the right choice. 3. Fried or salty food. Fast food joints are a dime a dozen in the United States. Most of their offerings are packed to the brim with calories from fat and added sugar. It's a calorie bomb waiting to explode. Now let's talk salt. Consuming too much of it is bad for your liver, leading to fluid retention and an increase in blood pressure. Not exactly what you want for your liver health, right? And if you're carrying some extra weight or battling diabetes, listen up. You're at an increased risk of developing fatty liver, so it's crucial to steer clear of oily, greasy, or deep-fried goodies. Fried foods are a one-way ticket to a free radical city. However, adding a splash of olive oil to your diet can work wonders for your liver. It helps keep fat levels in check and gives your liver enzymes a much-needed boost. So next time you're eyeing up those processed foods or canned soups, look at the label and keep an eye on your salt intake. Your liver will thank you for it. 2. Saturated and trans fat. Saturated and trans fat aren't just innocent bystanders when it comes to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. They play a direct and indirect role in its development. Saturated fats are bad because they prompt the liver to stockpile more lipids, rev up metabolism, and increase insulin resistance. Meanwhile, trans fats are no better, causing inflammation and even spurring tumor formation in the liver. When it comes to fat accumulation, different types of fats have diverse effects. Saturated fat and fructose are the real troublemakers, leading to a significant increase in liver fat, insulin resistance, and production of harmful ceramides. These waxy substances, along with other metabolites like branched-chain amino acids and dioglycerols, mess with insulin action and can spell trouble if their levels are too high. But it doesn't end there. Ceramides can also wreak havoc in other ways, like promoting insulin resistance and the buildup of LDL cholesterol in arterial walls, paving the way for arteriosclerosis. In the mitochondria, they throw a wrench into the electron transport chain and crank up the production of reactive oxygen species. Now let's talk about how these nutrients, simple sugars, saturated fatty acids, trans fatty acids, and animal protein, fuel NAFLD. They do it directly by promoting the buildup of fat in the liver and inhibiting antioxidant activity, and indirectly by messing with insulin sensitivity and triglyceride metabolism. As for trans fats, they're not hard to find. They lurk in many processed foods, from baked goods to fried treats to certain vegetable oils. But don't be fooled by their ubiquity. Eating trans fat can send your blood cholesterol levels skyrocketing and put you at greater risk of heart disease. Next time you're tempted to reach for the greasy snack or a processed treat, remember, what you eat can have a real impact on your liver health. 1. White rice and pasta. White rice, bread, and pasta might seem harmless, but they can contribute to fatty liver disease over time. These foods fall into the category of refined carbohydrates, meaning they're made from grains that have been stripped of their fiber during processing. Without that fiber, these grains break down quickly in the body, causing blood sugar levels to spike. Now here's where the trouble starts. Elevated blood sugar levels signal the liver to kick it into overdrive, converting those sugars into fat for storage. And guess where that fat ends up? In the liver, where it can lead to a buildup of fat over time. Going for whole grains instead, which retain their fiber and are digested more slowly, can help keep your blood sugar levels stable and your liver happy and healthy. If you're dealing with fatty liver disease, it's important to keep an eye on your diet. Your doctor might advise you to steer clear of certain foods that can pack on the pounds and mess with your blood sugar levels. But always chat with a healthcare pro for personalized advice. Remember, this info is just to give you the heads up. It's not a replacement for proper medical care. If you found this video helpful, why not give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button? Share it with your friends so they can stay in the loop too.